What's good, everybody? This is Bagman Ejay coming back at you again with another one. And in this one, right, we have a podcast that goes completely off the rails. Make a long story short, they was having a conversation about who can hold black women accountable. Yeah, on a panel of 4 black women, and it went about as well as you can imagine. As a matter of fact, one lady somehow, some way managed to get into an argument with herself. Man, this one's a doozy.
This is gonna segue perfectly, man. Who is responsible for holding black women accountable? Because clearly they can do whatever the fuck they want. So I'm just a girl. Can you explain this? Because your whole platform is about holding black women accountable, and you have gotten a lot of pushback, specifically from black women who have tried to, out you. They try to Google your man and find out his social security number, leak it online, like that. So again, when a lot of the criticism is that when men have a platform and they talk about women say it's not a man's job or responsibility to hold black women accountable. Black women need to hold women accountable. Clearly, that's not a thing. So, what's your thoughts on this topic?
Honestly, like you said, it's no one can hold black women accountable. Because it's all really BS when we say it's very cliche to say, let black women hold us accountable. Black men mind your business, but we can't. Black women, unfortunately, we have adopted this mentality that I can do whatever I want to do and can't nobody tell me anything. And this is why we are where we're at. So when we try to have these conversations and try to hold each other accountable, you do get it out of that. Well, it's not my job. It's not your job. Mind your business. And I think we live in a very selfish, egotistical society now that nobody cares. We don't care. I care about my sister, but her friend, I don't care about her but I can see her going downhill about to get hit by a bus. Well, it ain't my business, right? So I think if you're a black woman and the whole black woman accountable, you have to be ready to fight, because it's going to come. It's going to come with a lot, just to say, sis, I don't want to see you out here doing that. And anybody who knows my platform, I'm always thinking about how young girls are being influenced. So what us grown women are doing, it's influencing these girls to do these out of control, I don't care attitudes. They have the most disgusting attitudes, and you can't even check them because they have their moms who say, I could do whatever I want. So can't no one hold us accountable. No, not a black man, a white man. Your white boss probably, that's probably the only one who can tell us what to do because he pay us. A gay man can tell us what to do. That's kind of, it still revolves around, if it's a black woman or a black man, a straight black man, we don't want to hear it. And it's unfortunate. We are really in a place where we don't even realize how bad off we are. We don't even, a woman who has it all figured out. And I'm saying, sis, I can help you. And you say, I don't need your help. I'm gonna do what I want to do. But I'm watching you do the same thing over and over and over and over again. And it's not working. So instead of saying, you know what, sis, you're right. Let me take heed to this. I'm going to fight because can't nobody tell me nothing.
In full honesty, I am shocked that she went there with it, because she's pretty much hitting on the elephant in the room. And when I think even deeper on it, right, that's the part that no one wants to talk about when it comes down to the reason why the community is the way that it is. Don't get me wrong. I'm not one of those guys who jump on the blame black women for everything bandwagon, but you have to admit, we live in a society where a lot of the power is placed into the hands of the woman, especially in the black community, where she gets the final say on most things. So with that being said, how can you really build a community or even a solid family structure when you have half of the community not wanting to take direction or just can't be told anything?
So let me start here with this question. Who do you think can hold black women accountable?
Are we talking to Biotic now? I don't have an opinion on that. I feel like to each his own. Maybe their community, I don't know. Maybe their friends, their mom, whoever their support system is, that's who can hold them accountable. So that's my intake on that.
Okay.
Fuck? Hold on, let's go back. Does her shirt, am I tripping? Or does her shirt say HIV positive? Yo, you can't wear stuff like this without some sort of context being given, because it takes your attention away from anything this lady has to say. All that's going through my mind is she?
I don't know. Maybe their friends, their mom, whoever their support system is, that's who can hold them accountable. So that's my intake on that.
Okay. What's your thoughts?
I would say due to experience, it will probably be a village. I feel like people take heed to certain people, certain mentorships, and can be very adaptive depending on like their nurture and their background, like what they've been exposed to. So I do believe that it's hard to hold Black women accountable for certain things. But I do kind of agree with the to each. I agree with both of you, honestly. It's a to each his own. Because I've had experience with my mom, even with her giving me feedback and from her experience. And I feel like a lot of times they try to implode or tell you what they've been through and try to place it on you. Like, I've been through this, so don't do this. It's like, just because your finger burned when you touched the pot, don't mean mine's will. So I feel like a lot of people, they want
to... Shut up, bitch.
I don't think she realized how stupid she sounds right about now. It takes an intelligent person to learn from someone else's mistakes. If you clearly see that something is harmful to you, there's nothing wrong with learning from the other. If someone else has been harmed by a thing and they tell you, hey, this thing will harm you, it makes sense to listen. You shouldn't have to get harmed in order to see that it's true. It's like someone telling you crack kills and you say to yourself, well, hey,
I need to try crack for myself.
Oh my goodness, man.
Try it. It's like a trial and error in life. And sometimes you need to experience before you can really be adaptive to it. You can't just take somebody's
word. You got burn-proof fingers?
I'm just saying, you never know. But sometimes you need to experience what somebody is trying to recommend rather than just taking their recommendation and running.
No.
So let me feel the burn and then I'm like, all right, you was right. Let's move forward. Rather than me actually saying like, she said it's high. It don't really look that high. But I'm going to just run with it. So I think it's a trial and error type thing. Okay. I'm using the pot as an example.
No, I got you.
Yes.
What's your thoughts?
I believe we're all responsible for ourselves. We are here. We are not put here to live someone else's life. We're not put here to live somebody else's journey. We're not here to grow our mother's garden. We learn from experience, and we are responsible for ourselves. Like, you can't blame somebody else for what you do. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that we are accountable for our actions. We live and we learn. Like, sometimes we make wrong decisions, but it's us who have to pay for it, not somebody else. So we are.
No, it's the community that has to pay for it. It's your children that end up paying for it ultimately.
Responsible for us and our actions. Women, Black women, whoever it is, I am responsible for myself. She responsible for herself. She responsible for herself. She responsible for herself. So if how she thinks, she got to be responsible for what comes with that. That's for her. That's not for me, because I don't feel that way. So I'm responsible for me. She responsible for her. Everybody responsible for themselves.
Yeah, this is why I be like, our community be in trouble, because we got motherfuckers that be thinking like, what's your thoughts on this? Like, it was crazy.
I would say that I think that is a detriment, first of all, because we should be, if we want to build community around our neighbors, I should be able to tell you something, you should be able to hear it, and vice versa. And as a father to a young girl and boys, what I do is going to affect their lives. So if we sit here and say that we are only useful for ourselves, or we're responsible for what we do for ourselves, I can't sit here and agree. I'm going to be responsible for my sister walking up and down the street, my homegirls, my mama, cousins, nieces, and that just don't stop. And whatever they do is wrong, I'm going to let them know, and I want them to do the same thing for me, because that's how we build community.
That's okay. When one says that, you ask, who's responsible for, what was the question?
Who is responsible for holding Black women?
I'm with a Black woman. I have a Black woman. I have a Black mother. I have a Black auntie. I'm naming multiple Black women I'm responsible for.
That's fine.
And I will hold them accountable.
That's okay.
And the same thing.
It's okay to give advice, and it's okay to, like, it's not limited. You ask who's responsible for Black women's ideas on what did you ask? Your question?
Who's responsible for holding Black women accountable?
Yes, that's all you asked. It's not saying. It's not.
He is. He's saying
I am.
He is.
No, that's not. Okay, but I'm just saying it's not limited to that.
I got a sneaky suspicion that this chick about to go full on short bus.
Why not?
I'm saying that it's not just limited. Me saying that we're responsible for ourselves does not mean that's it. Like, doesn't mean that I can't give advice to somebody else. I'm saying that my choices, I'm responsible for what the choices that I make. I'm not saying that I won't give advice to somebody that I'm seeing going the wrong way. Of course not. Of course, that's not what I'm saying. I'm answering your one question. It doesn't limit me to that in every aspect. There's other aspects of that.
What you ain't saying?
Because I don't have to. Because you asked me one question. You didn't say, am I responsible for my aunties and for young women? Of course.
They not black women?
Of course. But I'm responsible for my actions as a person. I'm not living anybody else's life. If I see somebody going the wrong way, of course I'm going to help them. Like, one question does not apply to the whole thing.
Ask you who's responsible.
You don't got to.
But she said that she go basically mind her business in a nutshell. That's what she said.
For holding you accountable. He said who's responsible for holding black.
For one, she wasn't listening. For two, she's getting a little too excited and animated right about now.
Women.
Yes.
Me, I am responsible for holding myself as a black woman.
You talking about yourself. We not talking about
Bro,
you.
how can I, my love, you're not responsible for her.
You confuse
him,
yourself.
Or this person. Like, you ask who's responsible for holding a black woman accountable.
Not a black woman. Black
He said black
women.
women.
Thank you.
Okay.
It's a general.
Me. I'm responsible
you talk
for
about
holding
yourself.
myself. Yeah, because, oh my God. God bless. God bless. Because like I can't control other people. If I see somebody and I want to give advice and I see them going the wrong way or I see a better way for them, of course I'm going to offer that to them. Right. But I'm not responsible for their decisions.
This goofy talking out of both sides of her neck. She's getting upset like they don't understand her. She done confused herself. The question was clearly talking about black women in general. She goes to say, well, black women individually, speaking of herself, meaning she holds herself accountable, which goes back to the whole who go check me boo mentality. Oh my goodness, man.
They're on their own journey.
That's not what the question asked you. If you're responsible for their actions.
He asked me the question that he asked
accountability.
Me
If you say you've seen something,
but it's not limited. This is what I'm saying. It's not limited. My answer, it doesn't mean like what he's saying. Oh, I'm responsible for my auntie and my mother and my sisters. So am I. But just because I say that I'm responsible for myself, yes, because I'm responsible for my actions. But that doesn't limit me to say that I'm selfish and I don't care about my community. That's not.
No one said that.
Like, we don't need to attack each other for just answering one question.
Nobody's attacking you. I'm trying to explain the question to you.
I'm just saying that I didn't say that. I'm saying we don't need to, just because I'm answering the question specifically that was asked. Like, it doesn't make, just because I say yes to this doesn't mean there's a no to everything else.
No one said that. No one accused you of not caring about your community. You know what? There's a saying that goes, hit dogs holler. That slow bus riding hit dog is barking.
All right. What's your thoughts on this thing?
Silly.
Real silly.
Women versus men all the time. Like,
there's nobody. I'm trying to explain the question to you. You clearly understand the question.
And all right, clearly I didn't. So
can I elaborate on this? I think that this is an issue that we have that we as women can't speak in general. We always make it about like us, right? So when we talk about, it could be anything. Like, what do you think about cars? Well, I don't like cars. It's like, well, in general though, like. Let's talk about cars in general, not like your car doesn't work right or this. So when we try to talk about as a whole, it still goes back to like me, what I can't do. If we talk about, again, as a whole, how do we hold us accountable?
Right.
How do we do better as a whole? Because what one of us does, it affects us all. I don't know why we don't want to, like, we get like that doesn't exist. Like, we are viewed, I don't care me being married or not married, white people see us all the same. It doesn't change. Like, we get lumped in one group. We can't say, well, I don't qualify, I'm over here. Yeah. At the end of the day, they see us all. And if we keep painting this narrative as one and we live in this very much, I only hold me accountable. Yes, I'm accountable for my actions, but at the same time, I still want to hold my sister accountable and let her know, like, sis, that's not cool. Especially if you come to me and telling me. A lot of women don't even tell their friends that they wrong.
Right.
You'll sit there and be like, well, it ain't my fault. I mean, we'll let her tell the whole story and you know she wrong and you won't say anything. And a lot of women can't or they won't because they're afraid they'll get attacked. They'll get cursed out. They'll lose a friend over holding their friend accountable. Yeah. And that's kind of where we're at. We can't.
Yeah, I think just in general, why it's important to even have this conversation about holding people accountable is because when you don't hold people accountable, they tend to repeat the same mistakes that this is why we get that generational curse of want to be a baby mama instead of a wife, and because nobody's holding you accountable for your actions, like, you know what I mean? Now you prioritizing a baby mama life, whatever the case is. Just like on the show, a lot of times we have Black women who say they don't feel protected by Black men. I think as Black men, it's our responsibility to make sure we do a better job at making sure our women are feeling protected. Now, if I had that mentality, damn, you know what, that I'm responsible for myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? All black women are speaking out to us. I can't think individually about something like that. You get what I'm saying? So whether they're not talking about me or whatever the case is, I still have to hold other black men accountable when I see them not doing shit. These hold me accountable all the time when I do some up. Like, I'm not gonna be like, they're not gonna be like, well, that's him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's responsible for himself. So I think in order to get back to that community where we all can collectively hold each other without getting offended, without feeling like somebody's attacking us, you know what I mean? So let me get to this next topic.
I do want to ask you though, really quickly.
Yes.